Good evening, my friends, and welcome to the banks of the Schuylkill River here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Across the river is Lower Merion. There's a little park there called Flat Rock Park. And what we're going to be doing today is something a little bit different from what you're used to. We're going to be doing a little bit of what I'll call urban hiking. We're going to be walking along the Schuylkill River Trail, which runs from Philadelphia here all the way up into the mountains, up towards like Pottsville. I believe it ends in a town called Frackville. It's over 100 miles. I don't think the whole trail is completely finished, but what I've realized, what I've been thinking about recently is that there's many resources around me close to where I live that I don't really film or explore that may be worth checking out. So we're going to be walking from the SHAWMONT Station, which I just showed you, which happens to be the oldest passenger rail station in the United States of America. Now you can see it's in bad shape. There is an attempt underway to make renovations and repairs to the station. But we're going to be walking from this point south towards Center City. Now we're not going to make it as far as Center City, but we're going to be walking along the river and towards a neighborhood known as Manayunk, and then along the Manayunk Canal. So we'll see how it goes. I have a bit of a cold. I don't think I'm going to be doing too much talking on this video because there's tons of people out and I'm still very shy about filming around people. So let's go for a hike and let's see what we see. And all right, let's check it out. All right, guys, see you up ahead. Gator out. All right, so it's another mild winter afternoon. It's midday, it's about 1 o'clock, and you're gonna hear a lot of traffic noise from across the river. That's the Schuylkill Expressway. And you know, there's a lot of people out and about, but I've actually never walked along this path here. I've always known about it, but I've never walked this particular section. So I'm curious to see what it looks like. There's probably a lot of old buildings and, you know, foundations of things, and lots of cool stuff actually, so it's gonna be neat. This area here, I believe this is called the Flat Rock Dam. We're above the dam, and then coming in here it would be, I guess, where the entrance for the canal would be, where the water gets diverted. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a view of the actual spillway or not, but if we can, I'll show it to you. All right, so clearly, as you can see, this looks like the kind of place you'll find me in the daytime. There's a big construction project going on here. I'm not sure what this is about, but there's definitely something going on here. This will be a cool place to work right along the river here. I'd love a job like this. Okay, so here's another sign saying that they're working on this Flat Rock Dam upgrade and stabilization. There's a little picture there of what it's going to look like, and so they're going to work to make this place look really nice. And can't wait to see what it looks like when it's done. That's pretty cool though. Glad they're investing in the city and these type of infrastructure projects. All right, guys, here we are at the beginning of the canal itself. We're just past that construction project, but I'm going to show you something that you can recognize anywhere you go. And I'm kind of surprised to see this here, but it's kind of neat too. There's clear evidence of beaver activity here along the canal. All right, so that right there is the unmistakable recent and fresh work of a beaver. So yeah, there's signs of it all through here, and so that's evidence you have beaver activity
here in Philadelphia County.
So we're now getting into more of the Manayunk Canal towpath, more into the heart of Manayunk, and
yeah, I know.
Trail's getting a little nicer. You can see this place has potential. I mean, you know, it's not the prettiest time. Granted, it's an overcast day. We're in the middle of winter, but it's pretty clean in terms of there's not a lot of litter on the trail. Unfortunately, there was a couple of guys camped out under that bridge. I was tempted to film them, but I didn't. But you know, you have homeless people here too, something you have to consider. The place has potential. You can see that the city's trying to develop this park, trying to develop this area. So I mean, it's not what I'm used to, not what we're used to, but I mean, it is kind of interesting. Now you can see we're getting into some new development and some big money here. These are all condos and apartments along the canal here. And we're beginning to get into historic Manayunk proper. One of the most unique neighborhoods in Philadelphia. One thing I find very interesting about the water here is that even though it has the weirdest color you can imagine, it's this grayish color, almost like the color of cement, but there's life in there. There's geese, seen mallard ducks. There was a bunch of feeder fish coming in from the stream underneath the road there, so they were getting that fresh, well, I don't know if it's fresh water, but colder water, moving water, and I guess hoping to find a bite to eat coming through those little feeder streams into the canal. Alright, so we're now in the heart of Manayunk, and over to my left is Main Street, an area of shops and bars and restaurants, and a place I used to frequent in my 20s, and I was a different person and you wouldn't even recognize me. Getting all dressed up on a Friday and Saturday night and trying to meet ladies and things like that. But it's pretty cool down here. Very nice, and I'll try to show you, get you a few streetscape shots of Main Street, but this is really the heart of the canal here now. Manayunk's a really fascinating neighborhood. It rises from the Schuylkill River here up a hill of several hundred feet. It features various different types of architectural styles incorporated over the last several hundred years. A lot of old factories, and it's really got a unique look and feel to it, unlike really any other neighborhood in Philadelphia. So it's a cool place to check out. I happen to work not that far from here at all. I pass through this area all the time. Just never really look at it from this perspective. End of Venice Island, and behind me is the Schuylkill River, and there's this old, looks like old abandoned railroad bridge. Now I think this bridge is now a trail that leads to the other side of the river. I see a couple people up on the bridge, so I'm gonna walk out on there and check it out. This hike has turned out to be a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. This old railroad bridge is the end of the line. The Manayunk Canal continues, but it's a road walk, so this is where we're going to stop. But I am just going to walk out on this bridge. I'm not sure if it's an official trail or not, but we are going to check it out anyway because it looks really cool. I don't know what it is about this bridge, but I mean, this is super scary. I'm getting major vertigo. I've seen people walking across it no problem, but I'm gonna have to turn around. This is freaking me out. So I think this is like an abandoned rail bridge. Maybe at some point they're gonna make this a trail. It's got one of these like metal grates, and then you can look down below. I actually got really bad vertigo. I only made it about a quarter of the way out there, and I had to bail on it. Sorry, but yeah, it's just freaking me out because you can see below you, and oh man, this is sketchy. We've reached the end of the canal path here. We've gone exactly 2 miles from SHAWMONT Station. So this was a different kind of hike, but I think it was interesting and worth documenting. I may be starting a series of videos similar to this one called Hiking Philadelphia, where I show different aspects of city life and in urban hiking, we'll call it. But pardon my voice, I do have a cold today. But that's gonna do it, guys. So I'm gonna go home and look at the video and see if I can edit something together for this interesting little walk through the Manayunk Canal and along the Schuylkill River Trail. So thank you once again for joining me for some nature, adventure, and discovery. This time from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, along the Manayunk Trail. And until next time, see you on the trail. Gator out.